Oh,
Come on then.
let's go.
Come on then.
Let's go.
You smelled better last week.
Back to, yeah. I actually put deodorant on this time, so I don't know.
Just
how that
regular
works.
links.
I don't know how that works. It was
Links Africa.
Rexona meant nah. Do you ever used to get the links Africa?
Oh,
Like
the
shower
fucking
gel?
yeah,
Shower
with the
gel.
shower gel and the
Links
get your
Black.
little fucking I don't know what that is. Get your little
The thing.
squishy. What is it called? Fupa? Not a fupa. What's it called? What do you exfoliate with it? Like
Fupa.
what's it called?
Fupa. Exfoliator.
No. It's called I don't know.
Or you can let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
I don't know
please.
if it's a fupa.
It's not fupa. I'm pretty sure that is a body part.
I'm pretty sure I was about to say futon. So
I was going to say futon next as
that's
well.
definitely wrong.
Anyway, welcome back to the Split Shift podcast, where we break through or cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Jamie.
My name is Dan. Welcome to the new episode. Breakthrough, cut through, same shit.
Look,
We do it all, man.
just don't be doing this to
do it
me.
all. Anyway.
It's been a long week, and also I redid the chess game again, just to keep it honest. Anyway, we're running things a little bit differently today.
Yeah, true.
We're a little bit more. Well, I don't want to say scripted because I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to say. I know the answers to the questions, but
we have devised
very rogue.
We've devised 3 questions. This is very rogue. So we thought we wanted to change it up. If you've listened to last week's podcast, we wanted to change things up a little bit, and we want to bring about our own experiences of just in our fitness and health, wellness, lifestyle, and I think it may be beneficial for you guys. So we have set ourselves 3 things that we changed that moved the needle in 2024. So what do we do to actually change that's going to elevate our life through business, through relationships, through our health and fitness space, and hopefully it may be something that might be beneficial of you. I hope so. That'd be pretty cool. And also, it'd be interesting to know if you did the same thing, or maybe something that you'd want to do. That'd be pretty cool too.
Or something.
But we could probably figure that out.
Either way, we've got to taste these. So this is another special guest from the beautiful Kimberly, from Elite Subs, Shaw Harbour, Caramel, and Fig Tree.
Kimberly's actually keeping me alive right now.
She's also about to open a new store somewhere in an undisclosed location as of yet, but that's also very cool. What do we got? Wait, hold up before we do this. Tropical Splash.
So I'm really keen for this.
This is going to be interesting because I don't usually like most tropical flavors.
I fucking love tropical.
So we're going to find out. Typically, like back in the day with the old OG pre-workouts, it's they're the ones that I'm scarred because they always tasted like shit. So let's find out.
Cheers. Yep. Yep.
Same deal.
Yep. That's the one, man.
Same deal. That's sort of more. So we've noticed,
That's
as in myself,
That's good.
much more subtle flavorings, as in not just in your face like a lot of the other pre-workout /
Skull fucking
energy drink brands, cans or RTDs or whatever you want to call them. They usually fucking punch you in the face. Much more low key. This tastes like breakfast juice.
Oh, this tastes
tastes
really
like you'd have this
This tastes really good, actually.
with your bacon and eggs in the
I'm
morning.
not too sure if I know it definitely tastes really good, but I'm also like feeling, I'm pretty sure a little bit extra tired. I had one coffee this morning at maybe about 4:30. Haven't had one since, and it's currently Monday.
It is Monday, but also it can be whatever day we want it to be right now. The way this is going to work is we're going to do a 2-minute timer.
Yeah.
So we don't fuck around for too long because we've got 3 points each.
Yes.
Danny Blair's going to start us out on the chess game too. And as soon as this goes, no more fucking words. We might put a little 30-second 2 cents in after, but it's on like Donkey Kong.
2-minute timer, that's
So-
fucking tight. I feel like I can't.
It's tight. All right. You ready for it?
I'm ready. Am I first?
You're first.
Oh, shit.
You're first.
Okay, so
Whoa. This is so rogue.
hang on, man.
Yeah, have another sip. So like we said, business, live training, all things. This is what has moved the needle for us, 2024. Let's go. Danny Blaze, number 1.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
The first thing I would say that changed was, it's going to be a bit of a simple one, but I think it made so much of a positive shift in my habits is waking up early 7 days a week. And I'm going to start with this one, and it's going to tie into the other ones I've spoken about in the once we bounce through each 2 hours, I'd say. But the early wake up 7 days a week, why was that such a game changer? Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love a good sleep in. I think everyone loves a good sleep in. I still do. Don't get me wrong. If you haven't seen a sunrise, please do yourself a favor and just go see one. It is probably one of the best things ever. On a Sunday, when you go for a walk and coffee with your friend, it's in your partner. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and it's a really good reason to maybe not go massive drinking. Like drinks with friends, stuff like that. I pretty much what I did with the early wake up 7 days a week. Why was that beneficial for me? It actually helped with my sleep cycle really, really well. It made me feel so much more better during the week, like for work. When we're waking up so early, we've got these long hours working with epic people. It's a lot of draining work, and it all starts from the weekend. And if you usually start on if I just go out with friends or something like that and like socialize a bit too much, and I'll just go for too many drinks or whatever, and I ruin my Sunday, that typically carries over probably till the Monday and the Tuesday and then probably even the Wednesday. So I got pretty much over it, and I changed my approach to say, like, I want to wake up earlier every single day. So I found a bigger reason to not just like sleep in and probably just lounge around, do nothing. I stay productive. So we went for our runs on Sundays. We did my walks with my girlfriend on Sundays too. It's way more fulfilling, and honestly, it's just epic. So if you haven't done one, just go do it. Wake up early, and that's it.
Dude, you killed that. That was good. Oh yeah, how good were those Sunday? Shut the fuck up. How good were those Sunday runs?
So good, so good. It was like just to really like expand on that one, dude. We wake up at 5 a.m. Pre-sun
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, that is like the most psychotic thing.
And about to go hit a fucking 30K or some bullshit.
It was fucked. It was absolutely fucked, and it was so good. And not even just like the sunrise, but like, dude, pre-sunrise.
It's like pre-cum. It's like
edging.
It's like you get the edge, and then it pokes through the. Oh fuck. That's gonna be good for the.
That's a blooper reel. That's a blooper reel right there.
No, hell,
that's my
100%. And also, even on that, I would say, like, because people say, how do you start waking up early? I can't, like changing hours, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do the same time every fucking day. Like, even on, say, if I have a day where a client's cancelled and I'm not going into work till 5 or whatever, I'll still wake up at the same time and I'll train in that spot, because your body just responds really well to consistency wherever it's at.
Massively. Dude. Jeez, man. It's so good with the circadian rhythm, and circadian rhythm is our natural wake up and sleep cycle. So, how you hear people say, I got to catch up on some sleep. It's actually not a real thing. It actually makes it worse. That's the studies that said behind it, is that if you try to catch up on sleep and like do like a 12-hour sleep when you're going to bed at we have 5-6 hours sleep every night, actually makes it worse. Going to sleep and waking up at the same time ideally is actually the best thing for it. And then if you do that over 7 days, it's fucking lit. So
yeah.
And you wake up and you're super ready. Epic.
Boss. Anyway, all right.
You ready?
Let's fucking roll this shit.
Do I just
not particularly, yeah. So press that.
Just down.
Yeah, hit it. And then hit it again.
All right. 3.
I'm so stressed. All right. So what I said for my first one is vibrational awareness, and you can put whatever meaning you want to that. But my thing is always being able to show up the way you want to in different areas of your life, and being aware of what vibration you're putting out there. So if you're running a low vibration, even just being aware of that means that you can change something about it. One thing I do every year, and this isn't necessarily a new thing, but it's just one thing that I've really prioritized, particularly this year, when you're going through a lot of work, or you're getting overloaded, you're feeling stressed, figure out where your vibration's at and where you're lacking. So are you not showing up properly in your sessions, in your training sessions? Let's learn to prioritize that. At the end of every year, before I start a new year, I break down my whole life into, habits, physical health, mental health, all these different areas. And I pick which one I'm suffering with the most, or which one I'm slacking off with, or which one's not meeting the standard of other things. So for example, physical training in itself is not a problem for me. I've got that shit covered. But where it comes to, say, mental health this certain year, I was like, okay, we're struggling with that. what's going on there. Then I started prioritizing, you know, getting my meditation and getting my breath work in, getting all those habits that I had previously, making sure we're really nailing them down so that I can actually show up the way I want to for my clients, for my, you know, partner, for Danny, you know, obviously. And then asking, what are you doing it all for? So constantly just whatever you go through, whatever you're doing, whatever you're pushing yourself in, whether it is training, whether it is business, whatever, reminding yourself, what are you doing it for? You may be spending too much energy on things you don't actually give a fuck about. And you may not be spending enough energy on the things that actually matter to you and to your life. So make sure you have awareness of what vibration you're sort of vibrating at, or what frequency you're vibrating at in different areas of your life. How can we show up better in certain areas? What small things can we do to work on that? And then realize and understand what you're doing it all for. Ask yourself that question.
Shit. That was a fucking good one.
I like the 2-minute thing. It's fucking so good for the old ADHD. Yeah, keeps you on track.
It keeps me going. And I'm like, makes me definitely hyper focused. That's for damn sure.
Feel my fucking heart. Feel my heart. It's fucking, it's on. Is it beating?
I can't feel it.
Okay, cool. I feel like I just fucking ran a marathon. That was exactly what was going on with when we were doing the 1-minute ones. That was even worse.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
Because we had so many to get through, and then one thing after the other. When we have these long-winded episodes, I absolutely love them. But we can definitely just go and go and go. So sometimes it's fun to bring it back and like just hone in on those 2 minutes.
Just funnel in. Well, I love that one. I think that's so relevant. I think that's definitely really important to just raise awareness to that. Something like funny, you said that. I'm a big fan of meditation, like a massive fan, and I've been meditating for years. It's part of my morning routine, but I lost a lot of that maybe over the last maybe 2 years, about 2 years ago, like for about a year. I started picking it up again this year as well, because that's something I remember that was making me feel so good. And I started doing Wim Hof, and that was fucking unreal. And I completely understand where you're coming from. Is that just where are you lacking in things in your life, and just raising that awareness. I like the vibrational stuff because it is a frequency, right?
100%. Yeah. And people think that you just get energy and then that's you good now. It's like, no, you need to train that shit, you know. And even things like you just said, meditation, Wim Hof breathing, that sort of shit. Like, I don't preach that shit. I say, this is what I do. And, you know, the results speak for itself. I'm at 4 a.m. fucking screaming at people, like bouncing off the walls. I do the things that I do for the energy that I want so I can show up the way that I want. You don't have to fucking do it, but it definitely works for me. Yeah. You know, if it's not something that people want to do, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, you can just work on other things, but figure out where you're lacking and just work on that and drill that in.
Yeah, I think it's like, and there's so many ways you can attain it as well. Like exactly what you said is that it works for you, but it may not work for the next person. They probably don't want to do that. And that's completely fine. But there's so many different ways to raise your vibration to, I think its biggest thing is showing up for you, but showing up for things that's bigger than you as well. Like in your life, like your partner and, you know, all important values and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's a really good one. I like that. Am I next?
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, on. Oh shit, on. Yes.
So I did a lot of like reflection on kind of like my identity this year, and I reassessed my values. So if you know me, you know, like from the gym or know me personally, I used to be, I am like a bit of a social guy. I loved socializing. I loved, you know, going out with friends, having a couple of drinks. And that was kind of like festival guy. I would say that was part of my identity. I took that away unwillingly because I just got busier with business and work, and then kind of like lost a bit of that part of myself. And I was kind of like, it was actually mentally challenging for me, because I almost kind of had to question, I'm like, who am I? Because this is what all I knew. I was this personal trainer who's preached balance, who went out with friends, socialized, lived fully, traveled and stuff like that. But now he's like really dialed in on business, showing up for my friends and family and stuff like that, and my partner and all that. And I don't really see much value in that. But that actually stripped a part of me until I actually had to reassess and put my energy or put my, you know, into things I really truly valued in this time of my life. I'm 26, you know, I wouldn't say I'm old, but I'm also not in my younger 20s anymore when that time was sorry, mate. But it was, that kind of phase is kind of like passing through for me. And it was a pinnacle moment to really understand, like, what do I really want in my life and what was fulfilling for me. And nowadays it is I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time with my friends, and not on just on a super social level, but more of an intimate level where we could just go for coffee, sunrise, sofa right, and podcasting and stuff like that. And just those things too. And or the other one is that putting my energy into things I really care about, which is my future, my business, how I want to show up for my clients and all that stuff. It was a mental hurdle, but reassessing those values of like what is really truly valuable to me right now, and I just honed in on that, and that moved away that past version of self. That's my answer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Fuck, we're doing well with the 2-minute things.
I was getting a little bit scared there. To be honest. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I remember when you were the festy boy.
Love it. Festy boy.
Yeah.
Festy.
Loves a fezzy. Very social man.
Now, don't get me wrong, man. Like I love a good festival. I love going out for a good like bev with mates, but I think it's just like what is mainly what has actually like followed up with with the first one that I said, kind of tied into together, is that if I was to do that all the time, I'd be fucked in all the areas I really cared about. I wouldn't be able to do half the shit half as well, and it would be a disservice to literally my people around me, which is just not fair. And so I just had to just change it. I just had to fucking figure out, I'm like, well, okay, what do I really want, and what do I want to get out of my life right now? Don't get me wrong, it's a good time, festivals and all that type of stuff. It comes when it wants to, and when that time I have a fucking awesome time, preaching balance, it's epic. All the time,
Probs not.
probs not.
Hell yeah. All right. Fucking click me on.
3,
Oh, why is this so scary every time? Every time. All right.
1.
Okay, one thing that, again, it's not new, but it's something I've always done, but definitely more enhanced as we progress through the year and such, is all perspective. Perspective stuff. So there's a couple of things I want to say about this. So perspective, in that people often ask me, say positivity or, staying neutral in certain settings, and I've had clients that just dump ridiculously heavy shit on me and handle it well and, whatever. And that's a good person to have in your life. You want somebody that can actually just take on your shit and communicate in a non-stressful way. Perspective shifting, finding out or looking at things in a different way where, okay, I'm going to give you a fucking dead set example here. This is a real practice that I do often whenever I'm trying to make a decision, or if somebody's going through some bullshit and they need to choose what to do, how to not freak out. If you find yourself in a scenario, I'll literally do this one thing. I go, what is the worst possible thing that could happen? What is the best possible scenario? It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Typically, it's even somewhere closer to the best. People often just only focus on the worst. Oh, this is going on. It's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It could be, but can you handle that? If it's the worst thing that happened to you, like what is the worst case scenario for that? How do you become okay with that? Become okay with that now, and then realize that it's not going to be that fucking bad. Then realize what is the best case scenario. Then just figure out where in the middle it's going to play. Once you accept and understand that you will still be okay, even if it is the worst case scenario, and your life will still go on, you can adapt and overcome and change, it's only going to be better than that. It's only going to be better than that. So it's all about perspective shifting and trying to understand and adapt to things that go on in your life, both positive and negative. I finished early.
Damn, 3.
Story of my life.
2, 1.
There you go.
TikTok. How good.
Hell yeah.
I like that. It reminds me of someone, it was a quote that holds on about stressing about shit now, is that if it, okay, it's so important that I barely remember it. It was,
is it the one, wait, let me guess. Is it the one, something's wrong? Or you're worried about something? Can you change it? Yes, no? If yes, then change it. If no, then don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So either way, you don't worry.
It's kind of like that. It was like if it doesn't impact you in 5 minutes, 5 hours,
that one is
5 months,
good.
or 5 years, then don't fucking worry about it. And then you just put a line of like how it's going to impact you.
And just preemptively trying to understand if this does go wrong and shit does go south and it's really fucked up, how can I make sure that I'm still okay?
I think that's the thing, right?
That's the biggest thing, because people just fixate, my life is going to be fucking over if I do this, or if this fucking happens to me, or so I'm not going to pursue that life goal. I'm not going to, do that talk in front of the people. I'm not going to fucking do X, Y, Z. I'm going to avoid this. what's the worst thing that could happen? This is what people even say, personal trainers, if there's any PTs watching, people avoid going up and talking to somebody about PT because they're like, whoa, what if they say no? Oh, they say no, then they said no. And then what? But like, then I'm going to be embarrassed. Okay. And then what? Oh, and then I don't know. It's like, okay. And then what happens if you don't do that at all? Oh, I have no money and then I have to change careers. And I feel like that's why but that'd be a big reason as to why PTs often don't fucking last among many other reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that for one. Anyway.
That's a good one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck, I feel like that's something we could definitely talk about.
Oh, we can talk about all these things for a lot longer.
3 minutes. Why don't we do 2 minutes?
Oh, bro, it's good. Keeps us on track. All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, fuck, go.
My last one, and arguably probably my most important thing, and I'm going to give you a bit of context on this, is that I stopped giving a fuck. Now, I'm going to explain this, right? So you kind of got a bit of an insight of like my values, what I've changed. There is obviously things I give a fuck about. I stopped giving a fuck about people or about things that I know is not going to add value to my life. And this was something always been in the back of my mind. And, you know, always like preach to clients, but it can be very hard to really cement this belief because we want people's approval. We want to feel like we're wanted or we're approved and whatever it may be. And I want to like let people down, whatever. And we want to like appease to the masses and stuff like that. Hence why we're doing this like oh, it comes out in a second, but want to appease to the masses, but ultimately it doesn't fill your own cup. You're putting out your energy out to all these other areas. It's probably not going to really benefit you. Ultimately, you probably actually truly just don't give a fuck about. And it's ultimately not going to fill your cup in any way. So I put my energy into things that's going to fill my cup as well. Like I said, with my values and stuff like that. The reason why I did this, and like, for example, the podcast is the perfect example. It's pretty scary. I've always been scared about I'm talking in front of a camera. If you guys, you know, we were talking about our previous beliefs and stuff like that in season 1, I always mentioned that anxiety was something that's been very present in my life for a long time. It comes in waves through imposter syndrome, through my fear of what other people are thinking. And it's just a navigational thing because ultimately we are human. I am a human being. And even working with a personal trainer, like it can be pretty scary. I'm a big believer of exposure therapy, that throwing yourself out there and just doing it and just, you know, ultimately hope for the best. I know it's a bit of a wild way to think of it, but that really helped me a lot to overcome those feelings, but also mainly saying, stop giving a fuck about things that you really don't care about. And then you hone in on the things that you really do and your life really elevates tenfold from there. Life gets so much better.
100%. That is literally this exact same mindset I had when I walked into the PT course. That was like that exact, what Danny just said was the thing that shifted with me and how I became successful as a personal trainer, like pretty much straight out of the gates. Because prior to doing PT, prior to walking into that course, well, I think we probably mentioned this in that about us chat, whatever that was called. Yeah. I was shy as fuck, like go figure, like we'll never speak up, we'll never do any of that sort of shit. And then because PT was just a thing, I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I'm like, I'm interested in, training. I'm interested in, body anatomy, all that sort of stuff. I'm like, the natural progression is either physio or fucking PT. Wasn't smart enough to become a physio, so I became a PT. But I'm like, well, it is what it is. We'll walk into the course. And then I dropped everything at the door. I literally, it was one of the, people think I can't fucking change. You can change it in an instant if you choose to. If you choose to, you can literally change it in a fucking instant. I was shy. I was fucking like, it was wild. It was like night and day. Walked through that door, dropped it, left it at the door, walked in. One other thing that people could do to do this, try solo travel. Try travel somewhere by yourself, like even to a different country. When I went to Greece, it's like you realize, fuck, I don't even matter. I'm just a guy. I'm just a person. You lose your ego completely because you can be whoever you want to be. You realize these people don't fucking know me. I can be whoever I want to be right now. Any ego, any history, any belief systems were left on that fucking plane. And then if you can just continue to remind yourself of that, you don't really matter.
No, it's true.
If you don't really matter, then you can do whatever you want to do.
What do we talk about all the time? It was like, I think we said this so many times. I'm like, you're a failure. I'm a failure. I'm not shit. Gaming's not shit. Like we are just specks in the universe. Like it was what was it Neil deGrasse Tyson? I think he was like, and I'm just getting a little bit left wing now, but like hear me out. He said if you really zoom out of what's going on in the grand universe, what's happening out there, and it just changed my perspective on everything because we can always feel like we're in the center of the fucking world.
All that shit matters so much.
Everything around me and all that stuff. Until you really zoom out over what's happening in the grand scheme of the universe, we're just not even a fucking speck of dirt compared to everything. And that was like a perspective shift to me. I'm like, wow, it's not so bad.
Oh, who said it? Who said it? Architects. Any metalheads in the crowd?
Yeah.
Architects, animals.
True.
We're just a bunch of fucking animals. We're just afraid of the outcome. That's the only difference. We're just afraid of the outcome. Which is all of like what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Stop being afraid of the outcome. It doesn't really matter.
Just go for it.
You know, just go for it. Which brings me to my next point. Actually, that's a fucking perfect segue.
Last one, man.
That's like a ironic segue.
Nice.
3, Last one.
2, 1.
Hell yeah. Just have a crack. This is the biggest, this is almost the motto of my last 12 months, starting from, say, even late last year, with the jiu-jitsu comp. Just had a crack, just try things. It's sort of what I've definitely done this year, but what I've really, again, my perspective with this sort of shit is I understand that Danny and I, being personal trainers, we don't have an average sort of life. We have this life where we have the freedom to do certain things, but we are still human. But we also get to see things that benefit us, we can motivate other people with, or we can direct other people with. So this year I directed fucking however many people to do this fucking marathon because I was being made to do it. These people had never ran before and they just had a crack, and not one of them regretted it whatsoever. They were extremely proud of themselves, but they just had a crack. Same deal, same thing with business, same deal with training. Just have a fucking crack. And that goes into my last question, my previous line. What is the worst thing that could happen? I'm doing a marathon. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, I only make it 21 Ks. You just ran 21 fucking Ks. Oh, I failed. Then what? Do it again. Just have a fucking crack. I think people are just scared. Well, like exactly what we just said. People are scared of the outcome, so they limit themselves in their life. So they don't want to try the things because of fear of failure.
Yeah.
If you had just had the mindset of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it, see what happens. This is all learning. Your whole life is like a big experiment. If you can consider your whole life an experiment and just see how much weird, wild shit I can do, or how much I can push myself in certain areas and just try things, you'll be able to see how far you can go. Be it in business, be it in training, be it in whatever area. If you want to progress your training, book yourself into a competition of some sort. So you're forced to progress. If you want to progress in business, fucking, I don't know, do something where you got to network with a certain amount of people, or fucking like put up a social media post, make a social media page, do something that is fucking scary and just have a crack. And worst case scenario, you got to understand nobody actually gives a fuck about you.
No one gives a fuck.
No one cares. No one cares. So you should stop giving a fuck about yourself.
It's so funny. Like, if there's any PTs watching, and something that we've in our early careers of when you're building your your reputation as a PT, you got to start somewhere. And we were fucking, what do? We walked from business to business, handing out, these gift cards out for 3 sessions. And we got used to and I learned this real quick. And this is what again, was my exposure therapy of the fear of failing was I got 10 no's to 1 yes. And I just kept 100%. Saying, and I got no's and no's and no's and no's. And that's fine. And they forgot about me. And they got the 1 yes. And then that over time built the momentum to where we are today. What I'm trying to say is that what's the worst that can really happen? That resonates so fucking much is because the worst case scenario is probably not even that bad, and that probably no one gives a fuck anyway.
Nobody cares.
I think when you're more accepting and you're more okay with failing or not doing it right or something like that, and just allowing that pathway to be a thing, maybe not encourage it, but just say if it happens, if you're just allowing it, it's gonna happen. It's actually pretty freeing. You have so much freedom. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm not bound by my own limitations. I can just fucking do whatever I want. Because what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst possible case? You know?
And on top of that, it's like, it was my first ever mentor. He was the one that taught me how to shift my perspective on situations like that, like how we walk in the streets. He would almost encourage, be like, see how many no's you can get. But he also reframed the personal training thing. And this is where it comes down to, these things will only work if you're morally sound. If you are aligned with what you're doing and your morals are in check and you're doing it for a real good purpose and you are authentic and you believe in the shit that you're doing and the service that you're providing or whatever you're doing, you can't lose. You literally can't lose. What he said for when it came to personal training, he was like, what kills more people than anything? I'm like, oh, cancer. He's like, no, obesity-related diseases. And I'm like, wow. And he's like, knowing that, if you had the cure for cancer and you saw somebody with cancer, would you not tell them that you have the cure? And I'd be like, I'm going to tell them. Of course I'm going to tell them. He's like, so if you can cure obesity, why would you not tell that person? They just don't know about you yet.
That's real.
Perspective shift. If you are morally sound and you're aligned with what you're doing, you literally can't lose. If you're trying to, run that marathon because you want to be a fucking awesome motivator for your kids, you can't lose. There's no losing that situation. Even if you fucking don't make it the whole way the first time, try again. Your first attempt is always just learning a baseline. Your first attempt is figuring out, where am I actually starting from?
Yeah.
If you can look at life like that, oh, this is my first attempt. Instead of being like, I tried and failed. Oh, it's my first attempt, second attempt, third attempt. Every time I'm going to try to grow and learn and get better.
I love it. It was something that that you were saying, and I forgot again.
You do this. Why do I do this every time? Why do I always go for a smack? I know. It's always with a cupped hand too.
Please, not the sack. Not the sack.
I wouldn't sack whack. I got toe punted in the nuts in in high school really bad, and I vomited.
I got it. I never vomited.
I just got some PTSD shit coming up.
I almost threw up from a sack whack once.
Yeah.
I was very, very cross, that individual.
I don't remember a lot, but I remember that. I'm coming for you, motherfucker. I know.
I've been waiting for this moment my whole fucking life.
Literally.
I read it somewhere where if you're doing something that's bigger than yourself, again, like what we spoke about, kind of like that, what you're saying, doing something that's bigger than yourself, you ultimately just will never lose. You
can't lose.
You can't lose for a bigger reason. It reminds you, it goes back to my last little thing. I'm actually going to get it up because I'll probably butcher it. If it's something called Ikigai. Have you heard of Ikigai?
Yes.
Ikigai is my mantra for life. It's about finding a purpose, and it is it's like a diagram, and it's finding a purpose in life. Maybe I'll put it up in the fucking reel or something. But anyway, there's different sectors, different quadrants, I guess, and find your purpose in what you love, what the world needs, what you can get paid for, what you're good at, and then there's the in-betweens of in between those two, in those four. Finding what resonated with me and why it led me to this point is through what is my Ikigai, what is my ultimate purpose of what I want to be put on this earth to be able to do, and it's ultimately is to be that small little influence to be able to help that next person that's going to add the help to that next person and just be a little bit of a positive light to the world. That's what I ultimately would love to see, and I think following off what you're saying is that it's no matter what no's you get or whatever limitations you might feel, as long as you keep that in mind, your true purpose or what you truly want to achieve out of your life, and it really aligns with your morals and your values and all that stuff, you will never lose. You'll just find another way. And
so just have a crack.
Just have a crack.
Just have a crack. That was literally the slogan of my year.
Yeah, just have a crack.
Fuck, we're very, very lucky in our jobs. We're very able to see people just have a crack every fucking day.
You found the right way, but not finding the right way.
I love it. We just did a whole episode without the thing turning off.
Yeah, true.
It's about to, though.
It's about to. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed this one.
A little bit of a special ep for you guys.
We wanted to share a little bit about us, and obviously we'd love to hear about you guys. And so we want to hear what you guys have changed this year for you that benefited you. We want to hear it all. And if you like this particular style, this content, a bit more about us, let us know. We're more than happy to share our experience and learnings and all that stuff. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and also if you're on
Spotify as well. And
give us 5 stars. That'd be lovely.
And we are coming to OnlyFans and Pornhub soon, but we're only putting on Pornhub what we cannot fit on OnlyFans, or almost like the outtakes.
Yeah. So remember,
OnlyFans will be the top quality content.
life's motto: just have a crack.
Just eat some crack. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye.